First contact and opportunity. Jack Mercer wiped the sweat from his brow as he tightened the last bolt on the aging cargo shuttle. The cavernous hangar of Lunar Station Alpha buzzed with activity around him, but Jack felt oddly isolated. Despite his talent and dedication, he was still stuck doing routine maintenance on outdated equipment. "All done, Jack," his supervisor called out, barely glancing up from his tablet. "Yeah, she's good to go," Jack replied, patting the shuttle's hull. "I've adjusted the fuel injection system. Should improve efficiency by about 8%. The supervisor grunted, unimpressed. "Just stick to the manual next time, Mercer. We don't need your improvements here." Jack bit back a retort. It wasn't the first time his innovations had been dismissed, and he doubted it would be the last. He watched as the shuttle was cleared for takeoff, carrying his unacknowledged upgrade with it into the starry expanse beyond the hangar's force field. As Jack packed up his tools, a commotion near the station's main airlock caught his attention. A crowd was gathering, their excited whispers echoing across the hangar. Curiosity piqued, Jack made his way over. "It's happening again," an wide-eyed technician told him. "Another alien ship requesting emergency docking." Jack's heart raced. Alien visitors were still a rarity, even 5 years after humanity's first official contact. He pushed through the crowd, determined to get a better view. The airlock cycled, and a tall, slender figure emerged. The alien stood nearly 7 feet tall, with iridescent blue skin that seemed to shimmer under the hangar lights. 4 arms emerged from a torso covered in intricate, swirling patterns, but what caught Jack's attention most were the alien's eyes, large, multifaceted orbs that reflected the scene before them like living kaleidoscopes. "I am Corax," the alien announced, its voice a melodious trill that needed no translation. "My ship has suffered a critical malfunction. I require assistance." The station's chief administrator stepped forward, all smiles and diplomatic niceties. "Welcome to Lunar Station Alpha, Corax. I'm Administrator Chen. We'll do everything we can to help." As the officials led Corax away, Jack's gaze was drawn to the alien vessel now visible through the airlock. It was unlike anything he'd ever seen, a sleek, organic shape that seemed to flow rather than having been built. Its hull shimmered with an opalescent sheen, marred in places by what looked like scorch marks. Without thinking, Jack found himself moving closer to the ship. He could feel the curious stares of his coworkers, but he ignored them. There was something about this vessel that called to him, a complexity that begged to be understood. "Hey," a sharp voice cut through his reverie. "Step away from there, Mercer. This is way above your pay grade." Jack turned to see Chief Engineer Yamamoto glaring at him. "Sorry, sir," he said, taking a reluctant step back. "I was just wondering if I could help with the repairs." Yamamoto snorted. "You? This is alien tech, kid. We'll be lucky if we can even figure out what's wrong, let alone fix it. Leave it to the experts." As Jack watched the experts cautiously approach the ship, he couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something obvious. The damage pattern, the way the hull's sheen flickered, it all spoke to him in a language he couldn't quite grasp, but desperately wanted to learn. Hours passed, and Jack found excuses to linger in the hangar, observing the futile efforts to diagnose the alien ship's problems. Corax stood to the side, his multifaceted eyes reflecting a mix of worry and growing frustration. "Perhaps if we tried a different approach," one engineer suggested half-heartedly, "and risk damaging it further," another shot back. "We can barely understand how it works when it's not broken." Jack's fingers itched to get in there, to explore and tinker. He had always had a knack for understanding complex systems, seeing connections others missed. But who would listen to a lowly maintenance tech? As the day shift came to an end, Jack reluctantly prepared to leave. He cast one last longing look at the alien ship, only to find Corax staring directly at him. Those kaleidoscope eyes seemed to pierce right through him, measuring and evaluating. To Jack's shock, Corax began moving towards him with fluid grace. The alien stopped just a few feet away, towering over Jack. "You," Korax said, his melodious voice tinged with curiosity. "You have been observing. What do you see?" Jack swallowed hard, acutely aware of the sudden attention from everyone in the hangar. This was his chance, possibly his only chance, to prove what he was capable of. "Well," he began, his voice steadier than he felt, "I've been watching the damage patterns on your ship's hull. They're not random. There's a rhythm to them, almost like a heartbeat." Korax's eyes widened slightly, encouraging Jack to continue. "I think," Jack said, gaining confidence, "that your ship's systems are more interconnected than ours. It's not just a vessel. It's closer to a living organism. And right now, it's sick. We need to treat it holistically, not just focus on individual components." A hush fell over the hangar. Jack could feel the stares of disbelief from his coworkers, the barely concealed sneer from Yamamoto. But none of that mattered. All that mattered was the way Korax was looking at him, with what Jack could only interpret as growing respect. "Interesting," Korax said softly. "Very interesting indeed. Tell me, human, what is your name and function?" "Jack Mercer, sir. I'm a maintenance technician." Korax turned to Administrator Chen, who had been watching the exchange with a mixture of concern and curiosity. "I wish for this one to assist with my ship's repairs," the alien declared. Chen sputtered, But he's not qualified. We have top engineers who have made no progress," Korax interrupted smoothly. "This Jack Mercer sees what they do not. He will help, or I will seek assistance elsewhere." A tense silence followed, broken only when Chen reluctantly nodded. "Very well. Mercer, you're temporarily reassigned. Don't make me regret this." As the crowd dispersed, murmuring in confusion and speculation, Jack found himself standing alone with Korax before the magnificent alien ship. His heart pounded with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. This was the opportunity he had always dreamed of, a chance to prove his worth and push the boundaries of human knowledge. "Come," Korax said, gesturing towards the ship with one of his 4 arms. "Let us see if your insight can restore my vessel to health." Jack nodded, a grin spreading across his face despite his nerves. As he followed Korax towards the ship, he knew that his life would never be the same. The adventure of a lifetime was about to begin, and Jack Mercer was ready to show the universe what human ingenuity could achieve. Overcoming alien technology, Jack Mercer stood before the alien ship, his heart racing with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. The vessel's opalescent hull seemed to pulse gently, as if breathing. Korax stood beside him, those kaleidoscope eyes fixed on Jack with an intensity that was both thrilling and unnerving. "Your ship," Jack began, his voice steady despite his nerves. "It's not just a machine, is it?" Korax's mouth parts twitched in what Jack interpreted as a smile. "Perceptive, Jack Mercer. Our vessels are indeed more than mere constructs. They are symbiotes, grown and nurtured, not built." Jack nodded, his mind racing with the implications. "That's why our diagnostic tools aren't working. We're treating it like a machine when we should be treating it like a patient." He approached the ship slowly, hands outstretched. The hull seemed to ripple at his touch, warm and almost soft. Jack closed his eyes, letting his fingers explore the surface. He could feel subtle vibrations, rhythms that spoke of complex systems interacting in ways he could barely comprehend. "It's beautiful," he murmured, "but something's disrupting its rhythms, like an arrhythmia in a heart." Korax moved closer, his own hands playing across the hull. "Yes, you sense it too. The harmony is broken. Can you locate the source?" Jack took a deep breath, trying to focus. He let his hands wander across the ship's surface, feeling for anomalies. Suddenly, he felt it, a discordant note in the symphony of vibrations. "Here," he said, his eyes snapping open. "The disruption is centered here." Korax's eyes widened. "Remarkable. That is indeed where our main power distribution node is located. But how to access it? Jack studied the seamless hull, his brow furrowed in concentration. On our ships, we have access panels. But this, it's more like skin, isn't it? We need to coax it open, not force it. He placed his palm flat against the spot he'd identified, closing his eyes once more. Jack focused on the rhythms he felt, trying to match them, to harmonize with the ship's own vibrations. To his astonishment, he felt the hull begin to soften and part beneath his touch. Incredible, Corax breathed. You possess a rare gift, Jack Mercer. Few of my own kind can commune with our ship so intuitively. As the opening widened, Jack peered inside. The ship's interior was a marvel of organic technology, pulsing with bioluminescent energies. But amidst the beauty, he could see the problem. A cluster of crystalline structures that seemed out of sync with their surroundings. There, Jack pointed. Those crystals, they're not part of the original system, are they? Corax leaned in, his expression grave. No, they are not. A parasitic growth, picked up during our last deep space transit. We hoped our ship could purge it naturally. But Jack's mind raced, considering options. We need to remove them, but carefully. Any sudden disruption could shock the entire system. He turned to the assorted tools he brought, mostly standard human equipment. None of it seemed appropriate for the delicate task at hand. Then, an idea struck him. Corax, does your ship respond to sound? To harmonics? The alien's eyes swirled with interest. Indeed, sonic resonance is a key component of our technology. Why do you ask? Jack grinned. I think I know how we can remove those crystals without damaging the surrounding tissue. He rummaged through his toolkit, pulling out a small sonic screwdriver, a recent innovation in human engineering, inspired by old science fiction shows. Jack had tinkered with his, expanding its range and precision. This might tickle a bit, he warned the ship, feeling only slightly foolish for talking to it. He activated the device, carefully modulating its frequency. The effect was immediate and mesmerizing. The parasitic crystals began to vibrate, their structure becoming unstable. Slowly, carefully, Jack adjusted the frequency, encouraging the ship's own systems to reject the intrusion. Minutes stretched into hours as Jack worked, his forehead beaded with sweat, his hands steady. Corax watched in silent awe as the human's dedication and ingenuity gradually turned the tide. Finally, with a soft chime from the sonic screwdriver, the last of the crystals dissolved. The ship seemed to shudder, and then a wave of warm, golden light pulsed through its systems. Jack could feel the change instantly. The discordant note was gone, replaced by a harmonious hum of health. You've done it, Corax said, his voice filled with wonder. My ship, she sings again. Jack stepped back, a mixture of exhaustion and elation washing over him. We did it together, he corrected. I couldn't have understood what was needed without your guidance. As the ship's hull seamlessly closed, Jack became aware of a commotion behind them. He turned to see a crowd had gathered, engineers, technicians, and administrators, all watching with a mixture of disbelief and begrudging respect. Administrator Chen pushed to the front, his expression a complex mix of emotions. Mercer, that was well done. Jack nodded, accepting the praise for what it was. But it was Corax's next words that truly made his heart soar. Jack Mercer has done more than repair my ship, the alien announced. He has demonstrated the very best of what humanity has to offer: curiosity, intuition, and the ability to think beyond conventional boundaries. Corax turned to Jack, all four of his arms extending in a formal gesture. I would be honored if you would consider joining me, Jack Mercer. There is much we could learn from each other, and many wonders I could show you among the stars. Jack's breath caught in his throat. This was beyond his wildest dreams, a chance to explore the cosmos, to push the boundaries of human knowledge. He looked around at the familiar confines of Lunar Station Alpha, then back to Corax and the magnificent living ship. With a smile that lit up his entire face, Jack nodded. "It would be my honor, Corax. When do we leave?" As excited murmurs rippled through the crowd, Jack felt a profound sense of rightness. He had found his calling, a path that would challenge him and allow his talents to truly shine. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, and Jack Mercer was ready to unravel them, one ingenious solution at a time. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of an adventure that would change not only his life, but the course of human-alien relations forever. Upgrades and innovations. The vastness of space stretched out before them, a canvas of infinite possibilities. Jack Mercer stood at the viewport of Corax's ship, which he had come to know as the Harmony. 3 months had passed since they'd left Lunar Station Alpha, and every day had brought new wonders and challenges. Still marveling at the view, Corax's melodious voice came from behind him. Jack turned, a grin spreading across his face. "I don't think I'll ever get tired of it. Every star system, every nebula. It's all so incredible." Corax's kaleidoscope eyes swirled with amusement. "Your enthusiasm is refreshing, Jack. It reminds me of the joy of discovery I felt in my youth." As they stood together, Jack felt the subtle shift in the Harmony's vibrations that indicated they were approaching their destination. "We're nearly there, aren't we? The Cygnus Reach." Corax nodded. "Indeed, a region of space rich in rare elements and unique phenomena. Our mission to chart and study it will be challenging, but I have no doubt it will also be rewarding." Jack's mind was already racing with ideas. Over the past months, he had learned so much about the Harmony systems, the symbiotic relationship between ship and crew. But he had also seen opportunities for improvement, ways that human ingenuity might complement alien wisdom. "Corax," he began, a hint of excitement in his voice, "I've been thinking about ways we might enhance the Harmony's capabilities for this mission." The alien's eyes focused on him intently. "Go on." Jack pulled out a datapad, bringing up schematics he'd been working on. "The Harmony's sensory systems are incredible, but I think we can push them further. By integrating some principles from human quantum entanglement research, we could potentially extend the range and accuracy of our scans." Corax studied the schematics, his expression unreadable. "Interesting. But tampering with the Harmony's core systems could be risky." "I know," Jack admitted, "but think of the potential benefits. We could detect phenomena that might otherwise go unnoticed, maybe even make breakthroughs in our understanding of space-time." After a long moment, Corax nodded. "Your ideas have merit, Jack Mercer. Let us proceed, but with caution." Over the next several days, Jack worked tirelessly to implement his upgrades. It was delicate work, requiring a perfect balance between human technology and the Harmony's organic systems. More than once, Jack found himself improvising, using materials in ways their creators had never intended. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. Jack stood at the main control interface, his hand hovering over the activation switch. Corax stood beside him, a supportive presence. "Here goes nothing," Jack murmured and flipped the switch. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, suddenly, the Harmony shuddered. The lights flickered, and a dissonant tone echoed through the ship's corridors. "Jack." Corax's voice held a note of concern. "It's okay," Jack assured him, his fingers flying over the controls. "Just needs a little fine-tuning." He closed his eyes, reaching out with his senses to feel the rhythms of the ship. There, a discord in the harmonic flow. With careful adjustments, Jack coaxed the new systems into alignment with the Harmony's natural frequencies. The dissonance faded, replaced by a rich, melodious hum. The ship's lights stabilized, taking on a brighter, more vibrant hue. Jack opened his eyes, a triumphant smile on his face. "We did it." Corax moved to the sensor displays, his eyes widening as he took in the readings. "By the cosmic core." "Jack, this is extraordinary. The level of detail, the range, it's beyond anything we've achieved before." As they entered the Cygnus Reach, the true power of Jack's upgrades became apparent. The Harmony detected subtle gravitational anomalies, mapped complex energy fields, and even identified traces of exotic matter that had previously been only theoretical. "Jack Mercer," Corax said, his voice filled with awe, "your innovations may well revolutionize our understanding of the cosmos." Jack felt a surge of pride, but also humility. "It's a team effort, Corax. Human creativity and alien wisdom, working in harmony." Their elation, however, was short-lived. As they delved deeper into the Cygnus reach, the enhanced sensors picked up something unexpected. A massive energy signature, unlike anything in their databases. "What is that?" Jack wondered aloud, studying the readings. Corax's expression grew grave. "I am unsure, but its power output is immense. We should approach with caution." As they drew nearer to the source of the energy signature, the Harmony's systems began to fluctuate. The ship shuddered, its harmonics becoming erratic. "Something's interfering with our systems," Jack realized, his hands dancing over the controls. "The new sensor array, it's picking up more than just data. There's some kind of energy feedback." Corax moved swiftly to assist, but it was clear they were in trouble. The Harmony's systems were overloading, unable to process the sheer volume and intensity of input from the mysterious phenomenon. "We need to shut it down," Corax urged. "Disengage the new systems before." A sudden surge of energy washed over the ship, and everything went dark. For a heart-stopping moment, Jack felt the Harmony go completely silent beneath his feet. Then, slowly, emergency systems began to flicker to life. The ship's core functions resumed, but it was clear that significant damage had been done. "I'm so sorry, Corax," Jack said, his voice heavy with guilt. "I should have been more careful. My upgrades, they made us vulnerable." Corax placed a reassuring hand on Jack's shoulder. "Do not blame yourself, my friend. It was I who approved this course of action. We could not have anticipated this outcome." As they worked to assess the damage and restore full functionality to the Harmony, Jack's mind raced. The phenomenon they'd encountered was clearly beyond their current understanding, but it also represented an incredible opportunity for discovery. "Corax," he said slowly, an idea forming. "I think I know how we can fix this, and not just fix it, but make the Harmony stronger than ever." The alien regarded him curiously. "You have a plan?" Jack nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "We need to embrace the unpredictability. Instead of trying to shield our systems from the unknown, we need to make them adaptable, able to learn and evolve in real time." He pulled up new schematics on his datapad, his fingers flying as he sketched out his ideas. "We'll integrate principles from human machine learning algorithms with the Harmony's organic growth patterns. Create a hybrid system that can analyze and adapt to new phenomena almost instantaneously." Corax studied the plans, his eyes swirling with a mix of caution and intrigue. "This is unprecedented, Jack Mercer. The level of integration you're proposing goes beyond anything my people have attempted." "I know it's risky," Jack admitted, "but think of the possibilities, Corax. We wouldn't just be repairing the ship. We'd be evolving it, creating something entirely new." For a long moment, Corax was silent, considering. Then, slowly he nodded. "Very well, Jack. Let us embark on this bold venture together. But we must proceed with the utmost care. The stakes are higher than ever." As they set to work on this new, ambitious project, Jack felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation. He knew that what they were attempting could change the face of space exploration forever. But he also knew that the risks were enormous. One mistake could doom not just their mission, but potentially the Harmony itself. Yet as he looked out at the swirling energies of the Cygnus Reach, Jack felt a sense of destiny. This was why he had come out here, to push the boundaries of what was possible, to merge human ingenuity with alien wisdom in ways that could unlock the secrets of the universe. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Jack Mercer was ready to face them head-on, armed with determination, creativity, and an unshakable belief in the power of innovation to overcome any obstacle. Trial by fire. The Harmony hummed with new life, its systems a perfect blend of alien biotechnology and human-inspired adaptive algorithms. Jack Mercer stood at the main control interface, his fingers dancing across holographic displays as he fine-tuned the final adjustments to their hybrid creation. "All systems are green," he announced, a mix of pride and nervous anticipation in his voice. "We're ready for the test flight, Corax." The alien nodded, his kaleidoscope eyes reflecting the shimmering energies of the Cygnus Reach visible through the viewports. "Then let us proceed, Jack Mercer. May the cosmic harmony guide us." As Jack initiated the launch sequence, he could feel the ship responding in ways both familiar and utterly new. The Harmony's living systems pulsed with energy, while the integrated AI hummed with calculations and predictions. They eased out of their safe zone, the ship's enhanced sensors probing the swirling chaos of the Reach. Data flooded in, far more complex and nuanced than anything they'd been able to detect before. "It's working," Jack breathed, his eyes wide as he took in the readings. "Corax, look at this. We're mapping quantum fluctuations, dark matter eddies, phenomena we could barely theorize before." Corax moved closer, his own amazement evident. "Truly remarkable, Jack. Your innovations have expanded our understanding exponentially." As they delved deeper into the Reach, the Harmony adapted seamlessly to each new challenge. Gravitational anomalies were navigated with ease, while bursts of exotic radiation were analyzed and deflected in real time. Jack felt a surge of elation. They had done it, created something revolutionary, a perfect synthesis of human and alien technology. But their triumph was short-lived. Without warning, alarms blared throughout the ship. The Harmony shuddered violently, caught in the grip of an immense gravitational pull. "What's happening?" Jack shouted, his hands flying over the controls. Corax's voice was tense. "A spatial rift, unlike anything I've ever encountered. It's drawing us in." Through the viewports, Jack saw space itself seeming to tear open, revealing a swirling vortex of unimaginable energies. The Harmony's engines strained against the pull, but it wasn't enough. "We're being pulled in," Jack realized, his mind racing. "The gravimetric forces, they're off the charts." As they were dragged inexorably towards the rift, strange, angular shapes emerged from the vortex. Ships, Jack realized with a jolt. Alien vessels of a design so bizarre and asymmetrical that they hurt to look at directly. "Corax," he said, his voice low with dread. "I don't think we're alone out here." The alien's eyes were fixed on the approaching vessels, his posture tense. "No, we are not, and I fear our presence may not be welcome." As if in response to Corax's words, energy beams lanced out from the strange ships, sizzling past the Harmony's hull. "They're attacking," Jack yelled, throwing the ship into evasive maneuvers. The Harmony responded beautifully, twisting and diving with a grace that belied its size. But they were outnumbered and caught in the rift's pull. Another blast struck home, sending shockwaves through the ship's systems. "Shields at 60% and falling," Corax reported, his normally melodious voice tight with strain. "We cannot withstand this assault for long." Jack's mind raced, searching for a solution. They couldn't fight their way out, couldn't run. Then it hit him. "The rift," he said suddenly. "We need to use it." Corax looked at him sharply. "Explain." Jack's fingers flew over the controls as he spoke. "These ships, they're using the rift somehow. Probably as a form of FTL travel. But our sensors, they're picking up the quantum structure of the rift itself." Understanding dawned in Corax's eyes. "You believe we can manipulate it." "Not just manipulate it," Jack grinned, despite the danger. "We're going to ride it." He diverted power from weapons to the Harmony's new hybrid systems. The ship's AI came alive, processing the vast amounts of data flowing in from the rift. "Hold on," Jack shouted, and plunged the Harmony directly towards the heart of the vortex. The strange ships pursued, their weapons fire intensifying. But Jack was focused entirely on the swirling energies before them. He could feel the ship's systems integrating with his own consciousness, a synergy of human intuition and technological precision. As they entered the rift, reality itself seemed to warp around them. The pursuing ships flickered in and out of existence, their attacks passing harmlessly through space where the Harmony had been microseconds before. Jack's hands moved with inhuman speed, guiding the ship through the quantum fluctuations of the rift. Each decision was made in a fraction of a second, the hybrid eye anticipating and adapting to the ever-changing conditions. Jack, Corax's voice cut through his concentration. The strain on the hull integrity, it's approaching critical levels. Just a little longer, Jack gritted out, pushing the ship and himself to the absolute limit. The Harmony shuddered and groaned, but held together. Jack could feel the rift's energies building to a crescendo. With a final, intuitive command, he engaged the ship's drive systems to their maximum. There was a moment of impossible tension, as if the very fabric of space-time was stretched to its breaking point. Then, with a silent flash of unimaginable energies, the Harmony burst free of the rift. They emerged into normal space, the calm starfield a stark contrast to the chaos they'd just escaped. Of their pursuers, there was no sign. For a long moment, there was silence on the bridge, broken only by the steady hum of the ship's systems. Then Corax spoke, his voice filled with awe. "Jack Mercer, what you just accomplished. It should not have been possible." Jack leaned back in his chair, exhaustion and exhilaration warring within him. "Sometimes the impossible just takes a little human ingenuity," he said with a weak smile. As they began to assess the damage and plot their position, Jack's mind was already racing with the implications of what they'd experienced. The rift, the strange ships, the new frontiers of physics they'd just pushed through. It was all more than he'd ever dreamed of encountering. "Corax," he said slowly, "I think we've stumbled onto something big here. Something that could change everything we thought we knew about the universe." The alien nodded solemnly. "I believe you are correct, my friend. But such knowledge comes with great responsibility, and, I fear, great danger." Jack met Corax's gaze, determination shining in his eyes. "Then we'll face it together, human and alien, working in harmony. There's nothing we can't overcome." As the Harmony cruised through the star-studded expanse, its systems humming with newfound power and adaptability, Jack felt a profound sense of purpose. They had survived their trial by fire, emerging stronger and more unified than ever before. Whatever challenges the universe had in store for them next, Jack Mercer was ready. With human ingenuity, alien wisdom, and their revolutionary hybrid technology, they would push the boundaries of exploration further than any had gone before. The greatest adventure, Jack realized, was only just beginning. Recognition and new horizons. The familiar blue-green orb of Earth grew larger in the Harmony's viewports as they approached. Jack Mercer stood silently, a maelstrom of emotions swirling within him. It had been over a year since he'd left Lunar Station Alpha, a year filled with more wonders and perils than he could have ever imagined. Corax placed a gentle hand on Jack's shoulder. "Are you prepared for this, my friend?" Jack took a deep breath. "As ready as I'll ever be. It's just, how do you even begin to explain everything we've seen? Everything we've done?" The alien's kaleidoscope eyes swirled with understanding. "We will find a way, Jack Mercer. Together." As they entered Earth's orbit, a flurry of communications flooded in. It seemed news of their arrival had preceded them, sparked by the quantum entanglement messages they'd managed to send ahead. The entire planet was buzzing with anticipation. They were directed to land at a newly constructed interstellar port outside of Geneva. As the Harmony touched down with characteristic grace, Jack saw the massive crowd gathered to greet them. Dignitaries from every nation, scientific luminaries, and a sea of media drones hovered expectantly. "Well," Jack said with a nervous chuckle, "no pressure or anything." The moment they stepped out of the ship, they were engulfed in a cacophony of cheers, questions, and flashing cameras. Jack blinked in the bright sunlight, momentarily overwhelmed. But then he felt Corax's steadying presence beside him, and he straightened his shoulders. Administrator Chen, who had doubted Jack so long ago on Lunar Station Alpha, was among the first to approach. His face was a mix of awe and chagrin. "Mr. Mercer, Corax, on behalf of the United Earth Government, welcome home. Your discoveries, they're beyond anything we could have imagined." Jack nodded, a small smile playing at his lips. "Thank you, Administrator. But this is just the beginning." Over the next few weeks, Jack and Corax were swept up in a whirlwind of debriefings, scientific conferences, and diplomatic meetings. They shared their experiences, demonstrated the Harmony's revolutionary hybrid systems, and painted a picture of a universe far stranger and more wondrous than humanity had ever dreamed. The impact was immense and immediate. Governments worldwide pledged unprecedented resources towards space exploration and alien cooperation. Scientific institutions scrambled to incorporate the new physics Jack and Corax had uncovered, and a new wave of hope and unity swept across the globe as humanity realized its place in a vast, complex cosmic community. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were those who feared the rapid advancements, who warned against too much alien influence, and the mysterious hostile species they'd encountered in the Cygnus Reach loomed as a potential threat on the horizon. Through it all, Jack found himself thrust into the role of a bridge between worlds. His unique blend of human ingenuity and understanding of alien technology made him an invaluable asset in this new era of interstellar relations. One evening, as Jack stood on the balcony of the newly established Interstellar Cooperation Center, gazing up at the stars, Corax joined him. "You seem contemplative, Jack Mercer," the alien observed. Jack nodded. "Just thinking about how much has changed. A year ago, I was a frustrated mechanic on a lunar base. Now," he gestured at the bustling city below, where humans and a growing number of alien visitors mingled freely. Corax's eyes swirled with amusement. "Now you are a hero of two worlds, a pioneer of new frontiers. Your actions have opened doors that many thought would remain closed for centuries." "We did it together," Jack reminded him. "Human and alien, working in harmony. That's the real breakthrough." As if on cue, a soft chime emanated from the communicator on Jack's wrist. He activated it, and a holographic display sprang to life, showing a familiar face. Dr. Ilara Voss, the brilliant xenobiologist who had been working closely with them since their return. "Jack, Corax," she said, excitement evident in her voice. "We've done it. The first successful integration of harmony-inspired biotechnology with a human medical application. The implications for healing and longevity are, well, they're revolutionary." Jack grinned broadly. "That's incredible news, Ilara. I knew you could do it." As they discussed the details of this latest breakthrough, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose wash over him. This was why they had pushed so hard, taken such risks out there in the unknown. Every discovery, every innovation, had the potential to improve lives across the galaxy. After ending the call, Jack turned back to Corax. "You know," he said thoughtfully, "as amazing as all this is, I can't help but feel like we've only scratched the surface. There's so much more out there to explore, to discover." Corax nodded solemnly. "Indeed. And not all of it benign, as we well know. The species we encountered in the Reach, they remain a mystery and potentially a grave threat." Jack's expression grew serious. "You're right. We need to be prepared. But we also need to keep pushing forward, keep exploring. It's the only way we'll ever truly understand our place in the cosmos." A comfortable silence fell between them as they gazed up at the star-strewn sky. Then, Corax spoke again, his voice carrying a note of formal gravity. "Jack Mercer, I have a proposition for you. My people, inspired by our journey and your innovations, are assembling a new type of exploratory fleet. Ships that will combine the best of our technologies, crewed by both our species. They have asked me to lead this endeavor, and I would be honored if you would join me as co-commander." Jack's heart raced at the prospect. a fleet of hybrid ships, pushing even further into the unknown. It was a dream come true, but he also felt the weight of responsibility that came with such a role. "Corax, I'm honored," he said finally. "But are you sure I'm the right person for this? I'm just one human, and there's so much I still don't understand about the universe." The alien's eyes swirled with warmth and conviction. "You are more than just one human, Jack Mercer. You are a bridge between worlds, a symbol of what can be achieved when different species work together in true harmony. There is no one better suited for this task." Jack took a deep breath, his gaze sweeping over the earth below and the stars above. He thought of all they'd been through, all they'd discovered, and all that still lay waiting to be explored. With a smile that held equal parts excitement and determination, Jack extended his hand to Corax. "In that case, my friend, I accept. Let's show the universe what humanity and your people can accomplish together." As they shook hands, or rather, as Jack's hand clasped one of Corax's many appendages, both felt the weight of history in the making. This was more than just a new mission. It was the dawn of a new era of cosmic exploration and cooperation. The challenges ahead were immense. There were new frontiers to chart, potential threats to face, and the ever-present unknown waiting to test them. But Jack Mercer was ready. With human ingenuity, alien wisdom, and the spirit of discovery guiding them, there was nothing they couldn't achieve. As the first stars began to twinkle in the deepening twilight, Jack and Corax turned their gaze skyward, towards the future that awaited them among the cosmic tapestry. The greatest adventure of all was just beginning, and humanity, hand in hand with its new alien allies, was ready to take its next bold step into the vast, wondrous unknown.